Pierce Brosnan, the man, the legend, the icon, from gambling, the charming and confident James Bond to rocking tunes in Momania, he has done it all with such perfection that you start wondering, is there something this man can't do? Yes, there has been something he had nearly no manage overlooking two of the girls he cherished with all his coronary heart. Bid him farewell for all time. What kind of individual did he develop up to be, and the way did he address history repeating itself? You will get to recognize every in the entirety by means of the cease of this video. There has been no profession Pierce did not pursue in his teenage years, making a song, performing, and God knows what now not. However, his journey to fame wasn't all champagne toasts and purple carpets. Oh no, Pierce's tale begins with tragedy and incidents that could depart any innocent soul. Traumatized for life. What sort of incidents? We'll be telling you all the stuff, but earlier than that, let's communicate approximately his youth. Pierce became born on May 16, 1953 in Ireland. However, alas, he didn't have his dad and mom standing over his cradle like everyday parents. He never felt the warmth of affection due to the fact his parents by no means cherished him, particularly his father. Whilst when he became only a child, his father left him and his mom all through themselves. This is a big one, and we are able to speak about it later in the video. In any case, by the point he changed into 4, while any ordinary child craved attention for his lovable acts, Pierce located himself yearning for a trifling look of his mom when you consider that she'd become busy attempting to devise a higher existence for him. So whilst she became running, he used to stay along with his maternal grandparents. He got connected to them. However, earlier than this bond ought to grow to be any stronger, he ended up dropping his grandparents to his mother, did what any unmarried figure would have carried out in this type of state of affairs, dispatched him to a boarding domestic. Now you have to have realized that his existence become not exactly the correct fairy tale, but wait, it gets worse. Whilst Pierce reached the age of 11, he went to London to be with his mother, but the reunion becomes something he would not even have predicted in his wildest dreams. He were given to know that his mom had married a man, now his stepfather, William Carmichael, and so this countless loop of misery persevered. He needed to start from scratch in a brand new city, a new faculty, and now cherry on pinnacle, a new dad. Whilst he became popular and famous inside the future, all of us wanted to be him. However, after knowing his past, do you observed you would ever need to take his area? If yes, then we're sorry to inform you that this component gets even worse. Pierce became a strong boy, an exceptionally brave one. He nevertheless controlled to find a supply of happiness, something that gave him comfort. It changed in the art of performing. He even have become a fireplace eater and carried out in a circus for some time. Are you able to believe Pierce Brosnan, breathing hearth? He failed to just stop there as Big Destroy got here when he joined the London Drama Centre and began running as an assistant degree supervisor. Little did he know that this became simply the beginning of his flawless career. Do you already know why was he so a success in his early days? Most people agree with that it was due to his pretty face. However, became that all know he was manner greater than only a good-looking lad, and that the target market saw proper via it quickly sufficient. He got to shoot a position in Tennessee Williams, the Red Devil battery signal, and bet what the lead actor dropped out, and Pierce were given the function, and allows simply say he kind of rocked it. Even as he became excelling in his acting career, he took place to stumble upon a quite lady, and he fell head over heels for her, who changed into the lucky woman, the Australian actress Cassandra Harris. But spoiler alert, it wasn't love in the beginning sight for her. She thought he regarded humorous together with his short haircut, Pierce Brosnan being known as funny looking because of his haircut by every other actor is just hilarious. They spent extra time together, their bond grew stronger, and Pierce ought to almost see his desires materialize, but you know the way they say the universe constantly has a way of throwing boundaries inside the manner of love. So, yep, the universe changed into prepared with a big one. Their case additionally had an impediment, a large one. Cassandra was already married to the actor Dermot Harris, and that they even had 2 children, Charlotte and Christopher Harris. Did that forestall Pierce? Nope's fate had different plans for the couple and their marriage didn't. Training session, and that they ended up submitting for a divorce now permits be actual PI changed into possibly thinking nicely. Howdy opportunity. As soon as the divorce was finalized, PI and Cassandra blended their households, with Pierce stepping in like a responsible man and started looking after Charlotte and Christopher as his own. It failed to rely if they weren't his youngsters due to the fact Pierce concept that it was no longer about blood, it turned into about love. Sooner or later Pierce got the circle of relatives he continually dreamed of and allows be sincere. Who wouldn't want a dad? This is named Pierce Brosnan in the first rate. So did their story grow to be, with a satisfied ending to reply that don't forget how he said his lifestyles turned into full of miseries. Nicely get geared up to have your coronary heart broken. Before we get to the element, let's cross over something interesting. Although he had a loving spouse and a whole lot of skills, Pierce still had a dream left Hollywood. So Pierce and Cassandra took the danger. Instead of solving up a residence for themselves, they took out a financial institution loan to fly to LA. Yep, you heard that right. They didn't actually have an area to stay. It turned into a huge threat, but it worked. Pierce landed a role inside the Manions of America. It became stimulated through the Irish famine, and Hollywood welcomed him with open hands. His efforts bore fruit, and in the end, the one's years of suffering, he became eventually breathing inside the land of the stars. After his position inside the Manions, he won reputation speedy, and ended up attracting a massive fan crowd. Any place he went, he turned into provided a function in a fan collection, the Remington Metallic. At that point, he did not know that. At the set of this series, he might come to be unloading the luggage of trauma he'd been sporting for these kind of years. He changed into, to begin with, off-supply to side function on this series. However, the director realized his mistake quickly sufficient and gave him the imperative position as you. Noah's existence wasn't all about glam and repute. The guy had a few severe American downs in his life, mainly whilst it came to his family. With that being said, allows talk approximately something we cited a while ago, his dating together with his father. Pierce grew up and not using a father figure around. He in no way even once met his father. Then out of nowhere, he sooner or later receives to fulfill the very individual who had abandoned him. The second one he changed into Born, in which at the set of Remington's Metallic it changed into suggested that his Father Thomas truly walked as much as him and added himself. Pierce had imagined his father very differently. He thought he'd be a tall guy. However, he wasn't quite glad with what he saw. His father became no longer a towering hero, but an everyday-sized man with silver hair and flinty eyes, that is. Now, not precisely the Hollywood dad he had probably imagined, but what might have been completed. Now you all might expect an entire drama scene by way of now, due to the fact Pierce was meeting his father in spite of everything these years. However, no, he acted maturely, maintaining his emotions aside. And now not holding any grudges, or at least he pretended like he failed to keep any. He possibly would have realized that there was no point in preventing after all this time. So no, it wasn't a movie ideal reunion due to the fact ultimately family is what topics you might be thinking simply. How Pierce become this kind of good man without having a father determined round. All of the credit score goes to the man who became now not handiest, his stepfather. However, a father who stepped up for him. It wouldn't be wrong if we say that his stepfather, William Carmichael, changed into his actual own family hero who handled him like his own. He taken into consideration him a blessing. However, became it always a smooth ride. Occasionally you're thankful for your parents, and then there are times while you want to escape from your house with all your luggage in spite of the demanding situations. Carmichael stood with the aid of him during the difficult times, and it appeared like Brosnan took all those lessons to heart when it got here to elevating his children. Now Rosen's career turned into beginning to heat up with the seams, the appeal. And let's no longer neglect the talent. Audiences just couldn't get sufficient of him on Remington Metal. The best hassle, one little element, he become contractually sure, which supposed he couldn't tackle any other roles. Rumors commenced spreading that he became going to be the next James Bond. So there he becomes stuck in a jigsaw puzzle, unable to chase his dream position. However, he failed to allow that get to him. He turned into building his dream family, and in 1983, his first son, Sean, become born. Shaw's beginning finished their family of 5, and life turned into accurate till it wasn't 4 years after the delivery, and their son, Pierce and Cassandra. Determined to take a break from their worrying schedules, in 1987, they packed up the own family and jetted off to India for what turned into supposed used to be a calming getaway. This time things did not cross as deliberate. What need to were a non-violent journey quick became a nightmare. Cassandra began feeling extreme stomach ache and exhaustion, and when they returned home, awful news awaited them. With open fingers, Cassandra became diagnosed with ovarian cancer. The whole thing changed, and on the spot it changed into like the universe threw a curveball on Pierce, one which he could not probable dodge. Even for the duration of these difficult instances, Pierce didn't lose his composure. His focus was crystal clean. He was determined to make her ultimate days as unique as viable. The one who changed into alleged to be the primary and the last lady in his lifestyles, however, was she. Cassandra fought to stay robust too, and even as her fitness declined, the couple managed to locate their dream domestic in Malibu. They moved in. However, regrettably, Harris's time was running out. She died quickly after. In 1991, Brosnan's existence went dark after his wife's dying. However, he by some means managed to keep all of it together. For his youngsters' mental peace had been the kids at peace with themselves. He ignored all of it and made his kids his source of power due to the fact they reminded him of his spouse, as specifically their daughter Charlotte.